Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Alara. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is not Sunday technically anymore. I took today off and I have been procrastinating all day long to record this video, and now it is after midnight and here we are. So I'm a little tired. That's on me. It's all my fault. But I also wanted to try to get one more goal done before I started recording. Hopefully you can hear me okay. As you can see, I'm out in my room. My son's asleep. Trying not to wake him up. Y'all, it is cold, but now I'm hot now that I turned the camera on. And I've been sneezing, so my nose is all red. I don't know, I was kind of like not really in the mood to record, but this is why like videos tended to be months between, because I would just be like, I don't feel like recording. Well, now I'm on a schedule and I need to record. So here I am. If you're new, this is a channel all about cross stitch and my craziness with it. So buckle in. It's hopefully going to be a fun ride. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Yeah, that's what I have. I'm actually kind of a little flabbergasted. I think under 100 excuse me, to go before I hit 3,000. So once that happens, keep your eyes open for a giveaway for that milestone. That'll happen. I did not get done nearly as much as what I wanted to do, but that is okay. There is a slight, bigger than slight, there's going to be a tweak of plans. Not necessarily like the method and what I'm doing, but the end goal has had to change fairly drastically because things in life, and I'll get into that at the end. I got my board done, as you can see. Y'all, I don't know how Jen wrangles these things, because either I got like a bigger one than she gets, or I'm just like super awkward. I was like practicing. I'm in my office chair so that I can move back once I start, hopefully cross. I don't know how this is going to happen. We'll see. We'll see how that works. I forgot to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I work on 8 projects total. All in all, I got 3 finishes. I know, weird. They're all small. They're very, very small. So don't get too excited. I stitched a total of 10,147 stitches, so about 4,000 less than I wanted to. But let's face it, what I want to is like 1,000 a day, and that's just not going to happen. It's just not realistic right now. Which I know that's not realistic for pretty much anyone unless you're retired with no children. That is most certainly not the case for me. So let's dive into the stitching. I'm very discombobulated. I don't like going into the other room where the Star Wars setup is because it's freezing in there. It's so cold. I left the doors open tonight because I thought I was going to move in there to record, and then I was like, I don't want to, so I didn't. No particular order. I will go in the order of which I wrote them down. So first off is my Heaven and Earth Designs Sal stitch along. There we go. Words are going to be hard because it is the end of the day at the end of a very long 2 weeks. This is Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2. I have to think about what I need to show you. So I don't have the full mock-up available because they're releasing it quarterly. But if you haven't seen it, oh, son of a biscuit eater, it's the wrong way. I forgot about adjusting my light. There we go. And I am working in the upper left-hand corner of the tree. My goal, if you have not seen this before or know of my plans, this is slated for a finish by the end of the year. My motivation is for the 2 free charts. Oh my god, we're going to do the orange thing again. It's got to be this red wall. I cannot wait to repaint this basement. Oh, brick red in a dungeon. Like, why did you paint dark in a dark room? Not right. Anyway, so my my goal to finish this is to do 1,200 stitches every week. And those are 10 stitches, so it goes a little bit faster. Not a whole lot faster, but a little faster. And I got a total of 2,510 10 stitches. And that was from the start. So, and it'll be really fun to see Jen's method. She's also doing the same pattern, and she also is doing it in 10 stitch, but her method is different enough that it looks different. It's kind of cool to see that even when you're stitching the same pattern as somebody else, that it just emerges a little bit differently. So you can see the bulk of that tree. I don't know what to call that, because this is tree too, but I don't know. Main gnarl coming out, whatever. Words. Look at the pattern. So that was actually really fun. So yeah, that is on the docket for tomorrow. Okay, next I worked on my wedding samplers. Y'all, I am happy I volunteered to help this gal out. Never will I ever, again, volunteer to stitch a pattern 10 times. I am very tired of this little wreath. I'm only halfway done. I have 5 out of the 10 done. Like, I can maybe stitch something this small 3 times and I'm okay. But man, I'm on that 5th one and I'm going, oh, it's taken me forever to do it. It took me 3 nights of stitching on it to get it done. But so here's I got my 5. Whoop, whoop. All the same little flowers. And the pattern is a repeat, symmetrical, half and half. So it's like stitching the same pattern twice in one pattern. It's fun. But no, I promised her that I would do these, and I've already seen a couple, like another of the girls that promised 10. She stopped at 2. I'm like, I can't do that. That's not right. So that was a total of 2,031 stitches altogether, because I had one of them started. Let's see. Okay. Alright, I'll do my planned stitching first, and then we'll get into the stuff that I drew. So of course, my dragons piece. Yeah. Losing my train of thought already. Dragons of the Sabbat. This is a pattern by, I'm just going to insert the photo here because I'm going to talk about it and not have to worry about glare and stuff while I search for it. And there it is. So this is artwork by Ann Stokes. Chart is by Paine Free Crafts. It measures 755 by 800, so it is not small. I have all of the outside black done. Excuse me, goodness. And I'm now working on the inside black. And I started at the top of the purple dragon. And I will insert a picture of what it looked like in the Q-snap when you know what? No, I'm not. Just kidding, because it spreads out more than the Q-snap shows. So I'll just show you the section that I worked on here real quick. And I gotta figure out lighting, because this is a decent light, but it kind of washes out a little bit. So yeah, all that inside black I got done. That is a total of, it's actually not the full 2,000 that I should have done. I was shy about 60 stitches because I can't count. even though I was on Pattern Keeper. I stitched it over 2 days for the second session, so Pattern Keeper kicked over, and yeah, I didn't math right. But that's cool. I haven't really looked at it after I was done and took it out of the Q-snap. You can see the dragon. That's so cool. Oh my god, that's so cool. And of course, so there's sort of perspective on where that's at. So I picked this up on Fridays and stitch it. I've got my planned stitching kind of spaced every other day. So that I'm not too burnt out on working on the same stuff all the time at the beginning of the week. Okay, so that was my planned stitching. So stitches that I drew. Let's do, oh, I'm missing one. Where are you? In here. No? Yes? No? Oh, what did I do with it, guys? I'm a hot mess. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have the red nose like crazy tonight. Oh well. Alright. I pulled, excuse me. This is I don't know if it was a freebie or what. I pulled it off a freebie table at one of the retreats. This is a Mill Hill pattern. Gingerbread Man stocking. Now this pattern calls for, it's cute, but I mean, they kind of blend in a little bit. So I'm probably going to end up backstitching mine because there's no backstitch on it. And I'm like, it kind of needs it. These all call for silks and Kreinik, of course. And I think the silk is, yeah, is theirs. Kreinik silk, Mori, Kreinik braid, and I didn't have any of that. And y'all, I'm not investing that kind of money in a stocking ornament that's not that big. So I just eyeballed it and pulled my own colors. And this one was supposed to get 1,000, and I stitched 1,029 stitches. But I thought it turned out pretty okay for just eyeballing it. The purples are a little closer than they probably should have been, but that's okay. And I did not put the eyes yet on the gingerbread men because I didn't want the French knots to get messed up, because Lord knows when I'm going to pull this again. So this goal was done. It was really fun to stitch on, though. I did not mind that it was a paper pattern. I didn't mark it off. I just eyeballed it. And I didn't have to frog on that one, so that was good. I pulled I pulled 3 ornaments all together. I actually dumped the basket and like really churned them up and separated them and stuff, so hopefully they're not sticking together like that again. The other ornament that I pulled is, I'll put a picture up here. This is a series of gnomes that I bought off of Etsy from, where did I get this? Where did I get this? It says forstitch.com, so I don't know if honestly if that links to their Etsy shop or if they have a not Etsy shop, but if you want to check them out, let me actually, since I have the PDF, I'll show you what it's supposed to look like, because Pattern Keeper it's not fully compatible with, because it does have backstitch. I apologize for the sniffles. Like I said, no, that's the balloon. I don't want the balloon. Reset me. There it is. There he is. And there's a lot more stitching in here than than first meets the eye. I can't remember how many stitches it says was in here. So it's got 2,723 stitches, not including back stitching. The goal on this was to stitch, was it 300? 400, and I put 472 stitches in. And no, the stuff that you put stitches on, the fabric, is not really big enough. I have like so maybe a half inch border. But you know what? It's okay. Y'all, I'm not a fully finisher type person anyways. And I cut all of them out already because I'm not so smart sometimes. But I was probably just going to make these into like kind of cut out their silhouette and put backing and stuff on it. So hopefully that'll work. If not, live and learn. I don't have any more fabric. I'm not gonna try and like redo them. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So I got that goal done. Pretty much everything you see is going to be goals done. There's not that much. What did I say? 8? Okay. My third finish, because the two wedding favors that I got done were 2. I started and finished Sparkling Snowflake. This was out of the 100 Cross Stitch Christmas Ornaments book that I got off of Freebie Table. Stitching in the Springs. Oh man, let me pause and blow my nose. Okay, sorry about that. That's one thing that does drive me bonkers, is constant sniffling. My son also well, hopefully I don't also have a cold, but my son has a cold and he's just sucking that snot up his head. Go blow your nose. Stop it. So this one called for 600. It only needed 550 to finish it. So I got to put 50 back in the bucket. Woo! Stitcher's gone wild at the end of the year. Assuming I can... Now, what did this call for? This called for Kreinik Japan Gold number 5. I had to look it up to see if it still existed. It does. Because this was actually when they were still Bulgur is the brand name. And I was like, I don't have that. It's tiny ornament. I'm not investing in it. But I did have the Devil's Ass Hair to stitch with. This is Light Effects 5282. Y'all, this is as terrible to stitch with as everyone moans about. Like, once it's on the needle, it's okay. It's getting it on the needle and keeping it from, like, falling apart, because there's, like, a nylon, I looked it up, there's, like, a nylon core that breaks really easily. So anywhere your thread is through the needle, it breaks. So what I did is I actually, this is a 16 count fabric, navy. And I stitched it 2/2, y'all. It's bulky. I do like how it turned out. Like, it's kind of washing it out a little bit. It is sparkly. It turned out gorgeous, but it's a little bulky. But I was not going to, blue just turns me orange. But what I did was I folded it in half, to my 2 ends out away from the needle, so that the thread never had to move in the needle. So it just broke right there in the middle, and I could toss it when I was done stitching. That seemed to work pretty good. But hey, all that back stitch I did, like, these are, I don't know if you can see that, like, that's an X, and then it has this back stitch kind of right next to it, so it looks almost like a little chain. The effect was really cool. But I did that one night, so I think it turned out okay. Like I even backstitched in 2 strands because I was like, nope, not messing with a 1 strand. Nope. And I'm stubborn when it comes to like, just use shorter strands. No, I have to thread the needle more often, and that's what I hate about this stuff. So, but like you can see there, that's the core sticking out. That's where I had it threaded on the needle. That was my leftover. And I'm like, that would just look terrible if it did that the whole strand because of when the needle moves. So not real impressed with this stuff. Luckily I don't have a whole bunch of it. It just happened to be in my stash. I don't even know how I got that one. Or the other ones, to be honest. Okay, so there's my ornaments done. And did I get, yes. All right. This next one is Faces of Fairy, 208. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Oh my goodness, where's she at? There she is. Okay, this is, it's tiny. It's not a mini. It's just charted small. It's 200 by 200 with 88 colors. The goal on her was to stitch 500, and I stitched 571. Basically, I just if I had thread on the needle, I just finished out the thread. Go. But I mean, like if you saw my last one, I didn't have this gridded out, and look how much smaller it is even than the fabric. But yeah, there's my 571. Man, there we go. So decent little chunk of stitching. She will go. Where's my bag for it? So she will go away until the end of the year. Anything that is not, I mean, everything is going to go away till the end of the year. I, so far, and I've been stitching for a long time, I have no qualms putting something away for 15 years and not having it see the light of day. So it really doesn't bother me that these ones that are not planned stitching are just going to kind of go by the wayside. I may not see them for 2 years because I am starting to noodle about plans for next year already. Some things I procrastinate on. Apparently, stitching plans I do not. And last but not least, I pulled Honeymoon Sunset. This is a chart by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. I am stitching this with my friends. Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Obviously, if you watch her channel, you've seen she's got a ton of progress on this thing. Like 30%, I think she's up to. Plus, she's stitching on it for our challenge. Yeah, I forgot to mention, so Dragons of the Sabbat is part of our bet thing going on. So it's 25,000 stitches in 25 weeks. So that's why I mentioned I did not get quite as much as I should have. It's not off by much. But I got to make sure I get my stitches in. So, but she's doing Honeymoon Sunset. She's going to put another 25K in there. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is 869 by 649 stitches. It's gorgeous. But holy confetti Batman. This was pulled for 1,300 stitches. And it was pure confetti. Like, kind of worried that I don't have anything to stick behind it, because you're going to see nothing but line art. Boom. And there. I had almost nothing to start with. And it still looks a whole lot of nothing, but there's 1,045 stitches more than what it had. Um, because I mean, oh my gosh, and like this color is all like one color. Like I would just take a thread, and I work in really long threads, so I'd just go wherever it took me. If I had to stop and, you know, cut and go, I would try to use up the whole thread. I think out of all the colors I worked on, I only had to put one small length back on the floss guard. But like this color, I was like, dude, where are we going? You are all like, bye. Because I mean, just one here, one here, one here, maybe two. It was nuts. But I don't know if you can see. Look at there's some really bright blues in there that I wasn't expecting. It's just gorgeous. But yeah, this is Satan's palm tree. Because Jen was like, it gets worse. Oh my god, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I'm so used to being able to stitch super fast on dragons with that block stitching that now that I'm back down to like normal speed, I'm like, it's taking me so long to stitch. But it was fun. I was not necessarily in the mood for confetti, but I was in the mindset that I had no problem working on it. And then there was one whip and like 4 new starts that I did not get to touch. I just threw those back in the basket. I'm not even going to say what they were because I didn't remember until I looked at them. I'm sure you guys don't remember. And we're just going to pull from the baskets like it's a new 2 weeks, because it is. Before I do that, though, I do want to get into a little bit of other stitchy stuff, and then I'll move into a little bit of the life kind of goes into the plan change, and then we'll draw. Not a whole lot of life, but just so that you kind of are up to date on why plans are changing. So I ended up getting this bad boy last week. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is a Baby Lock serger sewing machine. It's an older model, but it was a 3-hour round trip to go pick this sucker up, but it was pretty much, it might as well have been free. It was such a great deal. Like I couldn't believe it. And she even said something when I got there. She was like, yeah, I looked up the price after I posted it on eBay. And she was like, I'm not trying to like raise the price, but she was like, I realized what a great deal I was giving you. Yes, you are. Thank you so much. I was not expecting to be able, because she was kind of a slow responder on Facebook Messenger, because it was through, not eBay, Facebook Marketplace. So I figured with the price that it was at, I was like, oh, she's got a ton of offers already, and I missed it. But she messaged me the next day and was like, because I think I had asked her, is it okay if you're flexible on pickup dates because we're a 1-car family? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Worked it out. Lovely lady. But yeah, she showed me that it did work and showed me the accessories. She even kind of ran, because I've never actually used a serger machine. I have my embroidery machine and a regular sewing machine that I've worked on. But she was kind enough to like kind of show me the basics and, yes, it works, and here's what you want to do, and don't pull the thread out because you'll hate life trying to rethread it. But yeah, and so I was kind of hoping that I would have time to get it out and actually play and serge my new stuff tonight that I pull, but that's gonna have to be tomorrow, so that's okay. My fault. I procrastinated. I was trying to get Honeymoon Sunset done. Almost there. 255 stitches to go. So yeah, so that was my exciting haul of sorts. All right. So how do I want to do this? I'll do that more towards the end. Okay. So, change of life that is causing the adjustment. So, my year total goal was to get 275,000 stitches done, which ends up being like 750 stitches a day. That was including my planned stitching for dragons, for the Heaven and Earth Designs stitch long, all the wedding favors, you name it. It was calculated in there. I wanted to get 275. My stretch goal was 366,000, basically 1,000 a day. Not going to happen. My husband and I own our own business. It's a hammocking business, which is doing okay, but it's slow. Part of that is us. Part of that is the economy. Part of it is competition. So he is actually having to go back to work. We are not closing our business doors. And then I also have my own business as well. It's on pause mostly for right now until I get some things caught up and routine reestablished and things like that. So he is going to be working for a friend of his in a country club and a kitchen, which we were both food service before we started our business. I had gotten out into more of an IT field before that, but yeah, I spent about 20 years off and on in the service industry. And he was about 25 to 30 in the kitchens. And he's really good at it. He knows what he's doing. He was kitchen manager in a couple places, so I mean, he's good. He doesn't like to do it. I don't blame him. But he's going to be doing our business in the mornings, do his shift at night, or it's like mid-afternoon to mid-evening, and then he'll come home and work until he's ready to go to bed. So he's pulling a bunch of hours. But you know, we had a really great talk about it, and I need to step up my game. I have been dealing with some mental health issues. If you're new here, if you're not new, you know mostly what's going on. That he recognizes is not really conducive to me going back to work right now. We also knew for a while that I don't function very well trying to pull double duty. I can do one job really well during the day, but that's it. I can't do more than that. And honestly, lately, even one a day has been a struggle lately. At least up until, till the end of the year. So that being said, I was like, my stitching time needs to go down. I need to pull my thumb out and actually work during the day, like a normal person who needs to work. So I've been trying to establish a new routine with that, where I get up and I do my work day, and whatever time, like a normal person, whatever time at the end of the day I have left to stitch is what I have. And, like I said, that looked like 4,000 stitches less than what I really wanted to do. It's still not terrible. I mean, shoot, I know people who get 50 stitches in a day and it's great. And there's no race. This is about being flexible and forgiving with yourself as far as plans like this goes, and with myself. So I'm like, you know what? I don't need, yes, I'm going to have these goal numbers. I'm not going to stress about crossing every single one of them off of my board. Will it be fun to see how many I get done? Yes. Kind of like Jen did with hers last year. And I took my inspiration, obviously, from her. Molded it a little bit to my interest in how my stitching and stuff goes, but I copycatted her. and that's okay. If it works for you, do it too. It's fun, frankly. But I'm not going to stress over if I hit that number goal at the end of the year, because it was just a challenge with myself, and I need to be flexible with that. It just means I won't have quite as much to show, and that's okay. So flexibility. That's the word of the day. It's flexibility. All right. All that to say, I will only be last time I pulled enough projects to fill out and assume that I could get 1,000 stitches in a day done. And prior to this life change of events, I would get that and more in a day. So what I've decided to do, I got to take my socks off. My feet are hot. I'm actually warming up. So I'm going to pull that back down to my planned stitching stays the same. If it takes me 2 days, 3 days to get it done, then that's what gets done. And okay, oh well to the other stuff. But I will go ahead and pull 750 a day for the, yes, 8 days over the 2 weeks that I assume that I will be able to work on something else. Hang on, I gotta get an actual drink of water. I got froggy in my throat. As long as it stays out of my stitching. So yeah, down to 750 a day. I'll probably still not get all of the ones touched that I want to touch, and that's okay. It's just so I don't run out of stuff to stitch until my next video. But that looks like 6,000 stitches. So let me pull my calculator up. There it is. And this. All right. So again, we're still going to do for every 4 new starts I will pull 1 whip. And we'll just, and I'll stop when I get to 6,000. Excuse me. All right. Ooh. Princess Eliana. And that still might look like a lot of projects if I pulled a crap ton of 300s out. Did I talk about... I think I did. Did I talk about, not UFOing, because it wasn't a start. Not starting Dark Queen of the Earth last time? I don't remember if I did or not. I decided not to start her, because I did talk about that. Yeah, and I dispersed the stitches as needed. My nose is red. I'm a Rudolph. Anywho, moving on. Okay, from dawn to dusk. That's a Textured Treasures small one. I'm sorry. Ooh. Okay. Testing. Underwater World. I think that's a China kit. I'm pretty sure. Oh, and then onto a whip. I did not get the camera very too tall. All cut off. Been wearing a hat for the entire video. Oh well. Alright, Beautiful Simplicity. This is one of Stitching Moon Designs. That's for 500. Back to new starts. And I had a lot of fun starting the things, you guys. I really did. Alright, this is one of the Christmas ornaments. Rose, oh, you can't see that. Rosebud fan. And I'll pull everything and show you what everything is once we get our total in. Ooh, my first Stitchrovia pattern. The best is yet to come. That's for 800. Halfway there, guys. Oh, and if I do happen to pull a project that I had to put back in, or I put back in the basket because I didn't touch it, then it will definitely get worked on the next time. I'll make that a priority. African Daisy. And a whip. Oh. Candy Pea Heart. That's good. That one, I was actually kind of sad that one only had 300 because it doesn't have much of a start to begin with. Alright. Next set of 4. or whatever. Some Mirabilia, Garden Prelude. I'm excited about this one. So excited about that one. I love the fabric that I found for it. This is one of the kits that I just got at a retreat, the War Pony. Oop, sorry, shook the table. I might get that third set for. Okay, this is a one that I pulled last time, so it will get worked on. This is Peony Tapestry. One more whip. This will probably put me over the 6,000, but that's okay. Or it'll be right smack dab. We'll see. Oh, right over. Okay, and this is another Mirabilia, Titania, Queen of the Fairies. So that gives us 6,100. So again, assuming I can even get 750 a day. Like there was most days last week, I didn't even get to start stitching until 10 o'clock at night. And I wanted to be in bed by 1, so. Okay, so let me, what do I want to do? Putting off wrestling with that board, that's what I'm doing. Okay. All right, let me cross off the board because I have 4 that I can cross off, and that's exciting. I got, the board is black. Let me see if I can even come back. Like, this is so ridiculous. Okay, that's the back. They are in alphabetical order, so I can hopefully at least find them. This is the part that I'm really not sure of, where I have to open it. And Jen, is yours this big? This seems kind of ridiculous. Like, I have to stand up, and you can't even see all of it. Yeah, and that bothers me. I started writing lowercase, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to read that. So everything but those like first ones are. Okay. So what do I have to cross off? You guys. I don't know how to do this part. But, oh my god. Okay, so yeah, there's like paint in the cap. You can't see that. And I don't, like, it's escaping. It's, oh, I'm gonna have paint everywhere. Oh, Lord. Okay, hang on. Painting the roses red. I'm painting the roses red. Okay. Gingerbread stocking is oh, that's under Christmas ornaments. Nikes, I didn't write down what number it was. Hang on. Oh, I know where they are though. Okay, gotta move. I'm gonna have to be off camera for this, guys. This is ridiculous. Okay, it'll sit in my chair, and I'll be on the ottoman. Hold that. Can you hold that, please? Alright, thank you. Alright, so here is that one. Oh my god. That's really awkward. Alright, so gnome tree, gingerbread. Where's that one? Alright, whoever sees it first, yell. Mill Hill. Oh, there they are. Can you even see that? Oh, I gotta put the other one. Hang on. Hold on. Oh, okay, we can do this. Wait, where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, there it is. All right. I mean, that is pretty satisfying. And face is a fairy. Face is a fairy. All right. And then the last one is Sparkling Snowflake, which was a finish here. I didn't even spell it right. I did this at like 1 in the morning to 3 in the morning. And I was really tired at the end and I was misspelling all sorts of stuff. I was very happy for black Sharpies. Okay. You get a little star. All right. Because that was actually a finish. Okay. Ta-da! And then, okay, I'm kind of afraid to close it because, you know, it's gonna dry and stuff. Okay, don't spill, please don't spill. All right, my gnarly chair. It's seen some use. Hold that. Thank you. I'm gonna have to pause it because I gotta shake this other marker. Be right back. So I figured I would put, you know, mark the tallies off for all the goals that actually get done. This is not for finished projects. I don't have a 135 goals finish of things like somebody else does. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! All right. Okay. I hope you enjoyed today's entertainment. I don't know how to put this lid back on this marker, you guys. Because, like, why did it leak like that? Oh my god, like, can I put it back on the thing? Kind of. I want to put the cap on before I keep going because, y'all, I am not graceful. I will spill some stuffs. And I don't want to waste it. Yeah, okay. Okay. Try not to paint the child's table. Marker has been contained. Okay. That was an adventure. The struggle with the board is real. Okay. I'm going to pause the video. Try and figure out why I'm not in... Do I slouch like really bad in my other... I don't know. Anyway. I'll pause, gather all the projects that I pulled to show you, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I got hot because digging in those bins, I'm all over the place on the floor, and yeah. Plus wrestling with that board. Okay. So, from last time, if you recall, this was Peony Tapestry. It's a Gold Collection Dimensions kit. It is a tapestry, so it's needlepoint. So this will be done in tent stitch. Luckily, I have... Ow, I just poked myself in the eye. I raised the camera so that you... so I'm not cut off here. Yeah. What do I'll just do it in the order of the pile that I have, I guess. Underwater World is a China kit, probably a ripoff from a John Enright. It's very reminiscent of his work. I don't know if anyone knows for sure. I'm sure it's a Dimensions kit somewhere. They love to rip Dimensions kits off. But this is the one that Suki had for a little while for easy stitching. And I'll show you the back so you can kind of see where it's got progress on. So I put the things in my little mini basket because I was using that to just draw and see what I was working on next in between my planned stitching. So it was kind of a nice variety too. Like, I know I'm going to be working on this, and then what am I going to be working on today? It worked. Canopy Heart is Heaven and Earth Designs. This was a start along with Suki, the Brown-Eyed Stitcher. And I gave her the fabric for it. She bought me the pattern. It is somewhere in here. I'm actually playing around with the idea of trying markup. I hear you can sort patterns in that. That's a big plus in my book right now because this is ridiculous. Not to be able to sort your patterns is a pretty basic tool in my opinion. There it is, good grief. This is artwork by Dakota Detweiler. It only has 10 colors in the whole thing. It is 490 by 612. This is a retired piece from Heaven and Earth Designs. I'll insert a picture so there's no glare. I like to show the mock-ups because then you can kind of see what it'll actually look like stitched up. Yeah. And I don't have, I think this was only a 300 one. I don't remember off the top of my head if I had reallocated stitches to make it 400 or not, but it does not have a huge start. That's it so far. It's not going to look much different when it's done, but that's okay. I will have touched it for the year. And that's just my goal at the moment. Besides my focus pieces is just to stitch on everything I have and start everything I have because, you know, isn't that why we bought them to begin with? Okay, this next one is going to be, or is Emma Congdon, Stitchrovia on Etsy. These are not available on Etsy. This is her book. This is 98 by 97. It is a round piece. Here we go. And I thought it looked a little hard to see on white fabric. So I'm doing it on this mushroom fabric. I'll be doing it 2/2 on 28 count. So there's that. Let me go ahead and show you the Christmas ornament that was pulled. This is Rosebud Fan. And they have finishing instructions on these too. It's kind of exciting. I don't know if I'll do the lace per se. Maybe not that big of a lace. I don't know. We'll see. And it'll be exciting to see. I think the only kind of finishes I'll have are from that ornament list, to be honest. So it'll be interesting to see how many I can actually get done out of that. Okay, next up is Beautiful Simplicity. This is, again, this is a Stitching Moon design. This was gifted to me by Megan when she was opening her shop. This is the Max Color version. She does not carry that anymore on Etsy as far as I know. What am I doing? It is 550 by 412 stitches, 224 colors. So very much max color. And this one has kind of a paltry start on it too. There we go. You can see the trees coming in here. So I know this is not a very big count, so I'll probably just, I tend to work in the diagonal cross country, so whatever stitch is next in the diagonal, I'll pick that and run with it, and then go back up when I run out of thread or can't put any more stitches of that color in because of, you know, where the rest of them are or whatever, and then I'll come back and do more of that. But oh, 500, so a little more to it. That'll be good. All right, next up is African Daisy. This is from Total Cross Stitch on Etsy. I will try to remember to link shops down below since it's a smaller, manageable number of whips than like a whip parade. There it is. This is 500 by 333, so not tiny. Has 89 colors, but oh my god, look at those colors. So pretty. And it looks like 400 is slated for that one. I tried to put note cards in the bagged ones, but it didn't happen on all of them because I got bored. The War Pony, this is a kit from Cross My Heart Incorporated. Designed by Sherry Step Ewu, and I've seen a lot of her, I think, what is the 90s era kits? No, early 2000s, this is 2002. But I don't think, I don't know, guys, should I swap that fabric out? I don't know if I have a piece big enough for it, though, to be honest. I just think it doesn't, that white just isn't enough to cover. Maybe I'll just bump the thread count and stitch up because it does have, yeah, it does have DMC. Maybe I'll do like a 3/2 or 3/1, assuming that's a 2/2. 2/1 words. I don't know. I'll think about it. I will think about it. I know. Yeah. All right, next is Mirabilia. This is, I think, all, and correct me if I'm wrong, does anybody know, does Mirabilia do anything other than Nora Corbett designs? This is Titania, Queen of the Fairies. This is a whip. And if you're new to my channel, so when I first got this, I did not see this here as a rose, which is what she's sitting on. Gosh darn it. I saw this as a big dress. So I was like, why is she like sitting, floating? She's not anchored to anything. And it was bugging me. I love her designs, a lot of her designs, not all of them, but a lot of her designs I really like, but they don't feel anchored to anything. So I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can get a custom dyed piece of fabric to anchor her. I asked Kaylee from Kaylee Tent Stitch of the sewing shop if she could dye me a piece of fabric that had a mushroom that she could sit on. I still think it's going to look cool. So we're going to truck on and cross our fingers because I have a decent sized start on her. So here's the top for the sky, and then there's the mushroom. So this is the rose coming in, and I'm hoping I situated it correctly so that the rose isn't floating too much. Hopefully I didn't make her float more. But Aren't those cool? She did such a good job on this. I love this piece of fabric. I just hope I can do it justice. The last time I worked on this, I made a big counting mistake that I was fudging to fix. I'm really hoping I kind of remember exactly where I was in that, because I thought I was going to dig it out way sooner than this to keep working on it. And I didn't. So... road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? Alright, Princess Aliana is, again, that Mirabilia that I was talking about. Isn't she pretty? This is one of the very, very few pieces that I'm like, yes, they picked the right fabric for the model stitch. She looks gorgeous. So I ordered everything from 123 Stitch. It is the 32 count Peaceful Purple Linen from Witchell. Fat quarter. I'm excited to get started on her. I honestly thought she would be the first one I started, and then I got that fabric from Kaylee. Alright, this is a piece from Textured Treasures. I met Karen, the designer, at Stitch North last year, and she was selling these little baby kits to get started on her, because she works mostly in specialty stitches. And I bought the kit for this. So I doubt it'll be a finish, because that seems like it's two legs to make one stitch basically. So we shall see, because I don't remember how many stitches it got pulled. I didn't realize I pulled three Mirabilias this time. Apparently I'm going to be working on a lot of mirrors. Garden Prelude. Gorgeous. Boring fabric for a gorgeous piece. So I got... this is a 32 count Lugana from Live and Die LA in the color Dusk. Yeah, that's pretty true. It's a little more purpley than that. But I didn't want her getting lost too much, because she does have a little bit of purple in her dress. So, again, super excited to get started on her. I have 0 beads for her, so that's okay. It's going to be years before I have to get to the beads, so it'll be okay. It will be okay to start her. Or do I have any beads? Nope. Nope, the bag is empty. I found it. These panels were 12 by 12, I think, and they fit the patterns perfectly for mirrors, and they fit the bins that I'm putting a lot of my stuff in. So I'm like, I need to make more of those sizes, like a lot more. Okay, so those are the prospects. The goal is, of course, to get all of them worked on and the goal done, but we will see if that actually happens. I'm not going to stress if I don't do it. It's okay. And my nose is red. I keep talking about it and pointing it out. Okay. Next section shall be, I promised last time that I would answer the questions that I had gotten to in red. I got screenshots of them. Now I sent them over to my tablet this time. I thought. Yeah, there they are. Okay. I hadn't actually put them in gallery. Well, that was dumb. There we go. Okay, they're in there now. Okay, so Allie Z is crafty. Sent. What inspired you to do the number of starts next year that I have? How did you choose exactly how many, and how are you deciding when each start is going to happen? Well, as you've seen, as you've seen, I am drawing from my baskets, and it's basically it's a ratio. I have three. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. I have 3 new starts for every whip that I have. As far as what inspired to do the number that I have, that is how much fabric I had, so I cut it all down and matched it with projects. Now I have like scraps left over. That's about it. Like really small pieces that could go on stuff. Like I just happen to have one last tiny piece for the Heaven and Earth design Sal. And when I realized that I had that, I was like, okay, yes, it's fated. I need to do it. So that's it. Nothing. And it happened to stop at 310. And then I ended up having I found one more to start, obviously with the Heaven and Earth design. It's still malleable. It's okay. Again, flexible. Got to be flexible. It doesn't have to be 310. It's just a really nice round number for as much 310 as I had been working on last year. I've had several questions, which I did answer in the last video. For the China fabric, I will be sure to link it below. I mention it a lot because that's primarily the fabric that I get is just off of AliExpress, China, Aida, or even weave, really. Let's see. Laura Conrad asks, once you start a piece, will you work on it until your goal is met? Or, oh, my chair. Or do you have a schedule of starting pieces on certain days, even if you didn't get to the goal? So, as I've kind of gone over and explained, I do try to work on it until the goal is met. I do have that sort of drive to, once I start a piece, finish that goal count, then it's done. I can set it aside. Otherwise, I'm going to have too many starts in like middle of the road working on where a goal hasn't been met for me to comfortably keep track of. Starting pieces on certain days, nope, because there are so many. Again, I'm just drawing them out of my mini basket and seeing what I'm working on for those 2 weeks. After I've drawn for the video. Okay, I may have a couple of planned starts as far as stuff that I've already got in the road, in the list, E from E Crafting in Colorado. I say her name wrong every time, even though she said how to say it. My brain, she says both of them, and my brain can't separate which one is which. Anyways, she wanted to see about starting. I forget which one we had talked about, or you had talked about last video. Did I probably didn't screenshot it either. Nope, I don't think I screenshotted it. Anyway, so if she decides that she does want to start it with me, if she has a particular date she wants to start it, I'll pull that and count that for that particular week's planned stitching. Excuse me. Let's see. So I think her. So when I read comments, I can only see your @ name. I don't see your display name. I can only see your tag name. And I think her name was Heike, but I could be wrong. She asked, I put my notes with my goals to, this is during my whip parade, put my notes with my goals to one side. How do you know how high the count was at the start? Which she meant to say, how did I keep track of what numbers went with what? I literally went through and opened all the papers after I was done recording and put them in my spreadsheet. No, just kidding. What I did was I went through and watched the video again and wrote them down, put them in my spreadsheet as I said them. That's what it was. Which is also why I showed it to the camera in case I said it wrong. Excuse me. And then oh, Kim Pembleton was cool enough to, and because I was even thinking of doing this, but she went ahead and did it. She did like a tally for me. So for Heaven and Earth Designs, let's see, this is, I think she only did the which is fine. I mean, obviously, I didn't even do it, and they're my projects. But she did a tally of my full coverage pieces. Heaven and Earth Designs regular 16, regular max color 1, regular color expansion 1, story keeps 9, minis 8, and 1 supersize max color, which is good considering I have quite a few more of theirs. For a total of 77 full coverage pieces. And the Mirabilias and other fancy lady stuff, 12. So that was fun. Thank you for that, Kim. And then I almost forgot. I had a lovely lady message me named Tina to say hi and chit-chat. And she mentioned that her son loves this piece and actually told his mom about my channel. So Colt, thank you so much for getting your mom onto my channel too. And this is my favorite piece too. So I dedicated my last stitching session to Colt. My little fan, Colt. So hi, Colt. Thanks for watching. Okay. Is that all the stitchy stuff? I think. I'm pretty sure. It was a lot. It's an hour and 12 minutes, and I have a little bit of life to talk about besides what I've already talked about. It's not much. So if you want to stick around, it's not going to be much longer. If you don't, probably half of you have already jetted by now. That's okay. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to jet now that the stitching talk is over, I appreciate you stopping by. Why is this not turning off? Turn off. Thank you. Turn off. Thank you. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit too because it is blinding me. No, 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 not color. Whoa, whoa. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. So yeah, husband's going back to work. I got diagnosed with gallstones, so that's been fun. I had mentioned, I think maybe a few videos ago, where I was having some dizziness and nausea, like every once in a while, and I thought it was due to the med change that I had back in the fall, and then one day I had the nausea and stabby gut pain in the upper right-hand side of my abdomen. And I was like, I know what that means, because that's where your gallbladder is. It wasn't quite bad enough to be appendicitis, because that's also on the right-hand side. So yeah, I went in, had my appointments, had a diagnostic ultrasound, and they're like, oh yes, you have gallstones, go to a surgeon, or go to your GI doctor, and they referred me to the surgeon. And so I go a week from tomorrow to talk to the surgeon and like confirm if I actually need to have it removed or if we're just going to try a change of diet. Unfortunately, overweight does lead to higher risk for gallstones, and I am pretty overweight, so I need to actually kick it in. But with the mental health over the last year, frankly over the last decade, it's been very hard to get my eating and my diet under control. So yeah, something to focus on a little bit more for this year, and hopefully get that under control, especially if he goes, it's not really bad enough, we need to take it out yet, which frankly I'm okay with. I don't love the idea of surgery like that. Even though it's laparoscopic now, it's not a major surgery. Still not a fan. I think again, I'm still doing okay as far as making progress with therapy. For those of you who maybe have stuck around and haven't been here before, I do talk about mental health. It's important to get rid of the stigma. I will talk about more of what I'm personally going through when I'm ready to. Still kind of processing. It's not quite as, the shock has worn off a bit, but yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there, and then we'll chat. Because I think more people suffer than we realize, and too many of us suffer in silence and in solitude, when we really need to know that we're not alone. So, okay, guys, it's an hour and 16 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, get my stuff cleaned up and ready to go for tomorrow, because I do plan on working, and it is 2 o'clock in the morning. So, all right, take care, stay warm, because holy crap, it's cold in the northern hemisphere right now. And Australia is like the pit of hell. Go look at the temperature map. Southern hemisphere is like brown, brown, brown. Australia is red. It's crazy. So, all right, guys, I will see you in 2 weeks. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye.